Weird one, but if you want great discus food, you're going to need bread, and you're going to need live cultured yogurt, and you're going to need a white worm culture, and it's really easy. So we will feed the worms, we'll then get some worms out and we'll feed them to the discus, and they go absolutely mad for it. Once you've got a culture, you can keep that going really quite easily. Haven't had any trouble so far, and they're multiplying really well. So all they get is a bit of bread, put some yogurt on the bread, and we also put some of this nutritional yeast flakes on it. All this stuff's easy to get hold of. We'll just sprinkle that on the top. Trying to do it one-handed because I've got the camera. So a bit of that on there. It smells nice, that stuff. I've never used it for cooking, but apparently it's good stuff. So that gets chopped in half. And I've got 2 on the go. I've read a lot about them crashing. The culture, that is. And I don't know how that happens. I haven't had it happen yet, but let's go see what they're up to and we'll swap the food out. So that's the first culture. You can see there's some nice big fat chunky worms in there. They tend to leg it as soon as the lights come on, but I'll take a few out for the fish. I haven't got quite enough going yet to feed them a big dinner, but we'll pinch the ones that we can get. All I'll do is put them in a bit of water and then we'll feed them to the fish. Try and keep the soil out of the fish tank, obviously. There's not really that many I can grab here, but we'll get a few. I'm sure there's a better way of grabbing them. But we'll grab a few out if we can. And I've got 2 cultures going, just in case something happens to one of them. Because as I say, I've heard that they crash, but I don't know why. This doesn't smell horrible or anything. This is about 2 months old. And it started from a really tiny amount of worms. They really disappear fast though, as soon as the lights come on. But see, that bread's there doing those. So about every 2 days, I'll change the bread out for a new bit. Just knock as much of that off as you can. Get rid of that. Look at all that lot. So they really do start to multiply fast once it gets going. I think the trick is to feed. Look at the little baby ones in there. It's difficult to get them out of the bread, but you need to change the bread because it goes off, and I think that spoils the soil. The thing I'm not sure about is how wet that soil should be. So that's something I need to work out a bit better, if I've got that right. Under there, there's quite a lot of them. So we'll leave them as they are. I'll put a bit of that in. Like so, and we'll leave them to it. I think that might need a bit more water in there, but we'll worry about that later. Didn't get many out of there today. There's a little one. We'll pinch him. Once they really get going though, you get hundreds. So keep them in the dark. About 10 degrees is best. And just make sure you restart a new one as soon as they start to show signs of going a bit funny. So look, there's a lot in there and all, but they'll all disappear fairly quick. I normally nick the ones that are climbing up the sides, but there aren't many climbing up the sides at the moment. They're all in the soil. And I don't know if that's a good thing or look, there's loads of them. But they're just difficult to get out at the moment. catch a few because the fish like them. If I can get any. Let's get rid of this old bread. So that'll start to go yuck. And it really is that easy. Once these get going though, they should be climbing up the sides, and then you can just scoop out the worms. But you can see they all disappear as soon as the light comes on. So keep in the dark, aim for 10 degrees. It's going to be tricky in the summer, so I need a plan for that. I don't know what it is yet. But yeah, you've got a constant supply of free fish food, and it's probably one of the best foods your fish can get. Every now and again, I think what I'm going to do is I'll just lift a lump out like that and stick it in a new tray. So if anything happens to these ones, it goes funny or something, I've got a backup. But they're doing quite well at the moment. And now these are about, I guess, 2 months old. They've been there. So not too tricky. And I think probably one of the best foods for your fish, so I highly recommend that. I'll have to somehow try and clean that up, but there's quite a few in there already to give to the fish. So yeah, free food, good stuff as well. Give that one a try if you want. I'll put the lid back on these. So there's the worms. There's actually quite a few in there. We'll try and get as much of the dirt out as we can, but it's fairly clean dirt. And the best way to do it, I found, is with the turkey baster, but we'll suck them up and we'll put them in and see what they think. So we'll just use one of those, works quite well. These two are a bit nervous in here, but they'll soon be over.